Andy, so we can start now. First, can we come back about the amazing experience Unarmed? Yeah, I want to speak about this album.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. After 1 year, about 1 year?
Yeah.
How this record was felt by your fans, and what you're feeling today about it, and about this experience.
Okay. Well, overall it was 50-50 anyway. I have to say the press accepted it quite good. The fans did not accept it good.
Yeah.
So I think the fans were very disappointed because they definitely accepted something like a 25th anniversary metal album. Nevertheless, I don't know what we should have done for a 25th anniversary best-of album. Would have been a collection of already recorded songs. So that's what we wanted to avoid. So we actually thought it's something new to appreciate for everybody, because it's not just a collection of songs that you probably already have bought. Nevertheless, they didn't like it.
Yeah.
That's what we had to learn. I personally don't dislike the album because it's something that I think for a musician is important, that you know you can do that. So you could actually survive in that genre of music. You are good enough. But after a year now, I have to say that I'm relieved not to be in that shit again.
You think really it's a shit?
No. That's I meant it in a sarcastical way, because being captured in an acoustic production where you are not allowed to even look at an amplifier or an electric guitar, you realize why years ago you bought an electric guitar in the first place.
Yeah.
Because you're a fan of rock, you're a rock and roller, you're a metal head. You want to do noise. So somehow in the middle of an acoustic production, you feel like being treated very unfair. You want to have an electric guitar, you want to make noise, but you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
You want to do noise, and they just don't let you do noise. So it was a funny story going on. It's like day by day, the later it got, the production in the earlier stage was nearly, we felt like in a prison.
Yeah.
Like, please open the doors, let us out here, we don't want to be in here anymore. Yeah. And just let us do what we want to do. That's how it actually felt after 2.5 month production. So, probably to take up front the next question, everybody was going back home in his little studios, and I swear to God, we cranked up the amps to 11.
Yeah.
And that's probably a reason why the new album is one of the hardest, if not the hardest album. Because it was just all the song ideas which came together then in the first listening session were just more speedy and more hard than we ever have written songs. And I'm quite sure that's because of the acoustic album.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. There must be a reason. So, and because we never schedule an album, it's like you have to write in this or that direction, because look, this metal band was #1 in US America, so this would be the style appropriate for the next level. Fuck it, I could never do that. So it's.
And if you have to
I
do
think
it,
it's not even possible. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could you? No. Couldn't.
And if you have to do it again, you will do it again now?
What, an acoustic album?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay.
No, I think it's enough. I mean, it was an experience. It's good to know that you could do it, because it's something for your ego.
Yeah.
Because nobody could tell you, oh yeah, you're good enough for metal, but that's it. And you could always say, nah, here, have a listen.
Yeah.
And for that vibe and for that style, it's really great done. It's a good production. So you can hear, okay, these guys know how to play their instruments.
Yeah.
They are not only, I mean, for the majority, it's not I would never say that, but a lot of people say, oh, they are only rock or metal musicians. And in every respect, I think the majority of metal musicians are not playing metal because they cannot do any better. This is what they don't understand out there. But we play metal because we love it. It's a difference.
Yeah.
I can do everything. I am a musician. I'm good enough to do every style of music. Here, that's the proof. That's why I actually think it's very important, the unarmed album. But because it's not the music I want to do, I will not do another album like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I realized that this is... What's the right word? 50% of a production, like unarmed, was rape.
Okay.
Yeah. I would never sing like that. If you leave me alone, just run, that I may run my own show. Here we go again. I would never sing like that.
That's what you say. It's not your way.
Yeah. It's great for me
Yeah.
to present a non-believer that I can different, that
Yeah.
I'm capable of doing something that he probably would appreciate and celebrate as great music.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I'm back here and say, yes, I can, but I will not do it in the future.
Okay.
I'm a rock and roller, I'm a metalhead. At least I need hard rock music. This is completely cool for me,
Thank you for the fans.
you know. But
Sorry for the joke.
yeah, but that should be it actually.
Yeah.
You know.
Really. So, by listening to Seven Sinners, we feel just really, a really more heaviest way. You speak about it.
Yeah.
So, is it what you want to give? I think the more heaviest album you never made when I listen it.
Probably. At least the mixture of the whole album seems to be the hardest. There are probably harder songs on different albums of like from the past years. Like Push, for example,
Yeah.
from the Better Than Raw, would be a song which definitely would fit into that context as well. And would be still one of the most heaviest songs on the Seven Sinner albums. But it's only one song
Yeah.
on one album, which was more or less very musically mixed with all different styles of heaviness. But for the mixture, I think the Seven Sinners is definitely, together with the Walls of Jericho, probably the hardest, and yeah, without compromise.
Why? Is it a state of mind or?
No, as I told you, it's like you normally don't. Look, I mean, the only time when you really bring in your head, when you really think, is when you already recorded 17 or 18 songs. Then it's the first time that you plan
Yeah.
the mixture of the album.
Okay.
But the songs are already done, they are recorded. The only thing which is then important is, look, this or that song is completely different, completely away from the others. So maybe we should not put them onto the album.
Yeah.
Because people would go like, okay, now the whole time we listen in what do I know as an example, in reddish colors, and suddenly there's a green color.
Yeah.
It's just bullshit. I mean, it does not fit onto an album then. So stay with the reddish. You
Okay.
know, this is the only time when we start thinking.
Okay.
Anything else, it's rock and roll. I cannot schedule it. I mean, look, next year I'm maybe a completely different guy because something in my life happened that changed me more or less drastically. I don't know, but it changed me. It changed maybe certain points of views, or there's a new band coming which I love so much, and it's a big influence then in my future songwriting. You can never name it. I'm not Robbie Williams or whoever these great acts. I mean, the great people.
Yeah.
Hey, no harm meant.
Yeah.
But I could imagine that there are strategy people who exactly plan the next album. Maybe not, but I could imagine. At least a lot of people always think you schedule an album, you plan and blah blah blah. I think this is so. It's not working. There's rock and roll and there's planning. It does not fit together, I think.
Yeah.
Rock and roll is always an expression of your life, of your feeling, of your lifestyle. And as we all know, next year we may all live completely different because something happens. I don't know. Maybe something great happens. You win the lottery tomorrow, which I don't say that he changes his personality,
Yeah.
but maybe because he's got all the money he ever dreamt of, suddenly he is capable of traveling the world to get to know more cultures, blah blah blah, and suddenly he learns extra things, come together, and his point of view about certain things not changed drastically, but is different than he would speak nowadays. And suddenly he changes his style of writing lyrics. Suddenly he changes his style of songwriting, like the Beatles did when they visited India.
Yeah.
Maybe a stupid or maybe not so stupid example, but suddenly you had a new Beatles album with Indian, like India instruments, like sitars and whatever, quarter tone stuff, and people went like, "What the? We don't like it." Nowadays it's cult. Yeah. But I know that my father told me about that because he is that generation. He bought this new Beatles album and he was completely disappointed because everybody was going like, what do we want to do with this bullshit quarter tone music? Beatles betrayed everything and blah blah blah. Nowadays it's a cult album.
Yeah.
Those days it was like hard work for the Beatles to actually explain the people why and how. No? So the future is not predictable for me as well, simply because we do not plan.
Okay.
You write your in one sentence, the next album will sound the way we feel to the certain time.
Okay. So when it's good in the interview, no? We're gonna have something to drink. It will be better with a beer, no? When we listen Seven Sinners, we can easily imagine the live energy and power into it. When I listen it, I see you on stage. Really. Do you think about it when you're recording this album?
I think I may answer this one definitely for Sasha too, because I had like the last 80 interviews together with Sasha, and I know that he wrote Stupid Mankind and Mr. Madman exactly with that imagination in his mind. He said he wrote the songs with the picture of a big stadium stage.
Yeah, that's what I feel when I listen to it.
And it's that. It's what I told him when he joined the band. He always wanted to know, Andy, how did you write the songs of my favorite album, One Size Fits All, Pink Cream 69? It's funny because he started out to learn guitar on my second album, on the One Size Fits All album. He learned every lick and every piece and thought in the beginning it's done by the guitarist. Mm-hmm. And he learned, here are the original tapes, and it was like, the Holy Grail, I gave him to listen to the demos for the One Size Fits All album, which were like, I think, 90% of the album I already wrote in the German army, where I was forced to go to because the Germans had no choice these days. But nevertheless, I was in the shower room, and all my comrades around me was like, great to have you. Boom, 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 dun, 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 and everybody was going like, okay, work on with this one. So it's great. And he asked me, how did you do that? How did you pick the ideas? Because you need a certain idea which you take and keep on working. There's so many ideas. You have to decide which idea is the one you want to work on.